Yeah. Yo. You already know what it is, man. It is getting close for us to hop about the bed. And I mean us as baseball fans and baseball faithful alike. Welcome to the second segment of this brand new episode of the hashtag Brothers of Baseball show right here on the Big Game Christian Sports Network. It's your boy Willie Epting Jr. Checking in, man, live, loud, and in color, of course. We want to welcome you in as we are almost back for another baseball season. Got so many things, man, lined up as well. So thank you guys out there for continuing to roll with your boy. Just in case you missed it in the first segment, well, man, we talked a little bit about a little bit about everything. I mean, in terms of women in sports and women in baseball and all those great things. Here in the second segment, there is still yet a lot of drama that is going on in the East Bay. And it's becoming a bit more comical than I would like to admit. And I have to say that I need to get some insight from my folk that's out there still in Oakland. I haven't reached out to them yet, or since I got this new information. So I'm gonna be doing that here pretty soon. It's you guys know how I feel about the A's and the Raiders, and even to a degree, the Warriors all leaving the West Coast, or really California, or the East Bay rather, and heading over to either San Francisco or Vegas. But it is what it is. So we're gonna get to that here in just a moment as well. Before we move any further, though, in this second segment, it is being brought to you by Front End Sports. Founded in 2022, Front End Sports is dedicated to empowering athletes, teams, and organizations with cutting-edge social media, merchandising, and NIL strategies to help your brand through innovative and personalized solutions. Their team consists of experienced professionals with diverse backgrounds in sports, marketing, design, and technology, with a passion, or who share a passion rather, for helping their clients unlock their full potential. Make sure you go to frontendsports.com to get your branding strategy / NIL, all the great stuff that they do over there at Front End. And tell them that your boy Willie Epting Jr. from the hashtag Brothers of Baseball show, the Big Game Christian Sports Network, and the ShakeBack Media Group told you to holler them so y'all can set it off and get all that going. Okay. So yeah, again, in case you missed it in the second, or in the first segment rather, I had to give props to the ladies in sports, and with this being the baseball portion, or the baseball show portion, the flagship 1B, if you will, of the ShakeBack Media Group. So I had to give some love to those that have contributed to our projects here, and beyond. So we're gonna get to the East Bay stuff here in just a second. As we continue to head towards spring training, and I think we're maybe as of tape time, 3 or 4 days away from pitchers and catchers reporting. And that's how you know, man, that it's real. That is how you know that it's real, because the thing about that is, to me anyway, it seems like the baseball season appears to be getting shorter and shorter as the years go by. And you know what they say? They say the older you get, the faster time goes by. And I don't think that's any exception for the seasons in sports. As we have just wrapped up the Super Bowl and the Kansas City Chiefs win yet another Super Bowl. I hate them. Tune into the ShakeBack Sports Show, as well as a show Enough Divided on all platforms. That is ShakeBack Media Group, and of course the BGC Sports Network. And oh, by the way, thank you guys out there for checking us out on Instagram TV. I see you guys out there chiming in. Facebook through my personal page, the network's page, and of course the ShakeBack Media Group's Facebook page, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram TV again, and once again, of course, I cannot forget about Twitter. But yeah, so it's now baseball's fans turn at bat, and I do mean a pun right there. But let's get back to the stuff that's going on with the Oakland Athletics. And it just so happens that I was in Vegas when somebody first sent me information regarding this. And I'm like, yo, are you serious right now? Because the mayor of Las Vegas has come out and said that the A's are better off staying in Oakland than they are moving to Vegas. So my instant question was this: better for who? Is it better for Vegas? Because this show ain't better for the A's. Now, it would be better for the city of Oakland if the city of Oakland could get their ish together and come up with something that will keep the A's in the East Bay. And there's a lot of stuff out there. And I read something actually on Tuesday. And I'm going to read a little bit of it right here. Since Major League usually shares a tentative schedule for the upcoming season with teams early each year, the Oakland A's were supposed to find out in late December of 23, ladies and gentlemen, where they would be playing in 2025 and beyond before moving to Las Vegas in 2028. That didn't happen. The past deadline, mid-January, that didn't happen either. Very soon, the next deadline will be the end of January, which we know has already passed. Even after the A's have reached a long-term or reached an agreement to leave Oakland permanently, the franchise's short-term results or short-time future is still in limbo. And it's just not MLB's low payroll or the lack of significant roster improvements from a team that finished 50 and 112 in 2023. It is as fundamental as not owning a home after your lease with the Oakland Coliseum expires after the 2024 season. So you go on down and it says, what are their options? 2 cities topping the list, according to sources. Sacramento, which is home of the San Francisco Giants affiliate, and Salt Lake City, which would love to use the athletics as proof of a concept that an expansion franchise in the future for Salt Lake City is justified. Both cities have NBA franchises that we know that regularly sell out their home games. Sacramento ranks 20th in the television market, and Salt Lake City ranks 27th. Now, Sacramento has Sutter Health Park, which hosts about 10,000 people, which is about 3,000 people more than the A's were drawing at home at the Oakland Coliseum. And the stadium, or a stadium in Utah, or in Salt Lake City rather, it has a capacity of about 11,000. So what does all of this mean? This means that, and even with this, okay, the A's actually own 50% of the Coliseum, and the city of Oakland, still hurt by the A's departure, owns the other half. So the two sides haven't spoken in like a year. So what does this mean for Oakland? The A's, let me put it that way. What does it mean for the A's? I can tell you. It means that it doesn't matter what happens. The A's are still leaving. It's just a matter of where they're going to end up. Now, I wouldn't mind it as much. I mean, I guess it really, for me as a fan of that team and a long-time fan of that team, and one that you guys know my history when it comes to the Athletics, I wouldn't so much mind Oakland moving to Sacramento and relocating there as much or nearly as much as them moving to Vegas. Now, Vegas is ready. We just spent the weekend in Vegas, the weekend before the Super Bowl. Happy belated birthday to me, by the way. And thank you guys out there for your well wishes on said birthday. But however, Vegas is ready. And one of our Uber drivers actually told us, well, I asked him, I said, where is the new stadium proposed location? And he said, right across the street from the Mandalay Bay. And it's right there by the airport, which is where UNLV is, which is where the MGM Grand is, and then you have New York, and the Luxor, and there's another one. I think it's not Circus. It's another one. I can't remember the name of it. Hotel and casino right there. So you're looking at the intersection of I want to say is Tropicana Avenue or Tropicana Boulevard and Las Vegas Boulevard, which, if I'm not mistaken, if you cross Tropicana Boulevard to the other side of the 15 freeway, that's where Allegiant Stadium is. I'm not 100% sure on the name of that street, but I think it's like right there. And he said that's where it would be. Now, the land is cleared off and would be ready to go for whoever is going to be building whatever on that land. But for Oakland, or for the mayor to come out and say what she said in regards to the A's being better off in Oakland, yes, I can see it being beneficial for one entity, and that is the city of Oakland. But as we have continued to discuss ever since it has come out that the A's were going to be leaving, there's no way. I mean, I don't see it, because it's not just the city of Oakland's government. It's the city of Oakland, period. The city of Oakland, oh my gosh, it's like the third world country out there, unless you don't live in the hills, unless you don't live in Piedmont, unless you don't live somewhere along the lines of Lake Merritt. The rest of the city is pretty much a landfill. And particularly where the Coliseum is like one of the worst areas of any metropolitan city or major city that I've seen in America. And it's I'm not going to say it's always been like that, but you can see it trending to where it is right now based on what was happening back then. And yeah, I understand that a stadium or a venue near Jack London Square or even near downtown Oakland would probably be an ideal location. But here's the thing. Even downtown Oakland, it's not too far from West Oakland, where the Acorn projects are, North 7th Street, 7th Street, 8th Street, 9th Street, Broadway, right over there under the 880, where it's homelessness all over the place. It's a homeless camp. It is tent city over there. That's not that far from downtown Oakland. It may not even be. It may be a little. It is. It is a little further away near Jack London Square, where the proposal was initially offered. But all of that area is too close to dangerous areas. Now, the thing with Oakland is that they are underfunded with a police force. They don't have enough officers around there to keep the peace. And they are one of the most underfunded police departments in California. And it's a shame, because Oakland has a lot of great history. Now, that's the difference between Oakland and San Francisco. Frisco is the city. Oakland is the town. And it automatically gives off the impression that San Francisco is better than Oakland. And from a standpoint of economics and tourism, it 100% is. But that doesn't mean that Oakland can't make a rebound. That doesn't mean that they can shake back. Yes, a pun intended, yes again. And I would love to see my favorite team stay in the town. It's not likely that it's going to happen. Now, when you think about it from the standpoint of this is scheduled to be their last year in Oakland. Okay, the lease is up at the end of this season. There's no way the A's may turn around and lose 130 games this year, and it would by far be the worst team in the history of the sport, which would overshadow such greatness that revolves around the Oakland Athletics, all the way back to the 70s, when the A's were winning 3 straight championships from 71 or 72, 73, and 74. With those tremendous rivalry series with the New York Yankees. It was either the Yankees or the A's in those days going to the different World Series back in the 70s. And a lot of times, the Yankees towards the end of the decade got more or less the better of the Athletics. And a lot of that had to do with the fact that the A's and their methodology of doing business, Moneyball, everybody has seen it. It has not changed. But that was not ever really a huge issue because they would have these players with all of this talent, and when it came time to get them to an extension or big money, they would find a way to lose them. I.e., Reggie Jackson played for the A's. He wore number 9 in Oakland. He goes to New York. Actually, I think he went to Baltimore first and then to New York. And he wins championships in New York. So he won championships with Oakland and, of course, with New York. And in that one season he played with the Orioles, I want to say he had like 28 home runs that year. And next thing you know, he was in pinstripes. And that's where he got more notoriety for his career than he did anywhere else. You remember the Reggie candy bar, all those things. I think he even had a Reggie Jackson action figure. Some people call it doll. I call it action figure. But nevertheless, that is what we have, as Oakland A's fans, been burned with throughout the years. And even when we were close these last couple years, before these last couple years, before everything just started falling apart. You think about all the players recently that were considered to be stars or superstars, the Jason Giambis of the world, the Miguel Tejadas of the world. When you think about people like Bob Welch and Scott Kazmir at pitcher, it's oh my gosh, it just goes to show you how things can change in the landscape of competition almost on a dime. And when you have I guess an organization that sticks to the same way that they've done business for years, things change, man. Things change. Oakland is the only after this year or before the year is up, the A's will be the only team left that shared a venue with its football team. Every other stadium, every other city has a separate venue for baseball and for football. And you got to think about it. The Raiders just left Oakland in 2020 or 2019, 2020, somewhere in there. 4 years, 3 years, whatever the case may be. But that's 2020. And we've seen it. We've seen it time and time again. All right, that's going to wrap it up for the second segment of the hashtag Brothers of Baseball show right here on the Big Game Christian Sports Network. Come on back to the other side. I got some stats, some historical stats on some of my favorite players. Willie Epting Jr., baseball fans all over the planet. Y'all come on back and holler at us.